Peace, family. What's going on? It's the Hood Mystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. How are y'all doing this morning? Get this, turn that down. How y'all doing this morning? Just shout out to the Patreon gang. Shout out to the Patreon family. Patreon.com/Hoodmystic. Just want to say thank you to those guys. Appreciate your support. Also want to say thank you to everybody who supports this channel, whether it's through watching it, whether it's through sharing it, whether it's liking it, whether it's through talking about it. And hopefully the goal with these daily energy readings is that individuals will begin to apply this ancient information into their lives and they can live better lives. That's the overall goal of this channel. So I just want to say thank you and good morning and grand rising, or however y'all say that, to the family. So today is Friday. Friday is ruled by Venus, and so we're going to talk about relationships and dharma. Indeed. So I just want to really go slow with this astrology and just kind of go through it step by step, and hopefully with that we could get some answers. And so basically, let me give you a rundown of what we do in case you're new here. We're just basically looking at astrological aspects and seeing what they amount to, whether they are trines, sextiles, oppositions, conjunctions. We just look at that in its entirety depending on the day. So today is Friday, so the focus is going to be more towards Venus. And Venus is doing some interesting things. But before we get to Venus, let's first deal with the sun in its second decan opposing Neptune. And so this is more or less of a realization, more or less of a taking seriousness of all of the information that we've been building up towards. So say for instance you're new to this channel and you don't understand what we're talking about. It's important to kind of go look back at what we've been building towards, not just this week but the previous weeks, in this concept of clarity. The sun opposed Neptune is telling you the reason why you should have been cleared, or is telling you why you haven't been cleared and now you have to deal with those realizations. And our realizations cannot be found within ourselves. Our realizations are ultimately always found in other people, in our full realizations of other people. So this could be kind of sketchy with people if they find themselves having difficult or tough relationships, if they haven't reached that point of clarity, if they haven't been working with this Jupiter trine Neptune energy. So if you haven't taken this clarity seriously, now the clarity will now take you seriously. And so this brings us to the title and the topic of our show today, which is dharma. And when we say dharma, we're just simply stating cosmic law and order. Cosmic law and order is the law and order that exists in the celestial realms, whereas it's law and order that exists in this realm, the earthly realm, but there's also a higher cosmic order. And if you fully are into the clarity, then you are fully aligned with that cosmic law and order. But let's not completely get rid of our terrestrial life, because our terrestrial life, it exists. Like, I have a personal story and a personal experience with this energy that I can kind of try to make sense of it. And when I speak my truth, I never intend to offend anybody, to make anybody feel comfortable, nor do I feel like I need to be corrected. Because this is my truth. This is not your truth. This is not his truth. This is not her truth. This is my truth. So I say that to say, dharma is knowing that I'm supposed to be in my relationship with my wife. But But that knowing just isn't enough. See, when I was single, I didn't act the way that I act now. And I think that's very important when you're dating or getting to know anybody. Ask them subtly. You don't even have to make a big deal out of it. You could just ask them, if you were single, what would you be doing right now? What would you be interested in? If you were single and the girl of your ideal wanted to engage with you in that way, would you tell her no? Or would you engage with her? There's times in my life where I would fully engage with whoever and whatever I chose to. Now that I'm in a relationship, I can't do that. But because I'm in a relationship does not wipe all of that away. It still is within me. So being a righteous man, being a man of high morals, I was not necessarily triggered, but I was out of my space in my relationship where I was completely focused on our dharma. My mind was somewhere else. You know, it was like, you know, I was thinking in my single mind. And so if I wasn't able to communicate with my wife what I was thinking, what I was experiencing, then I would have kept that energy within me, and that would have blocked my clarity. Good that I have a dharmic wife that understands. Well, maybe she doesn't understand, but we were able to have a conversation about what I was feeling, and I felt better. I only say that to say that you could be in a relationship with a man or a woman, or be a man or be a woman, but that open and honest piece is just not there. The reason that you're together is very logical, very rational. The rent needs to be paid, or the kids need to be taken care of. But there is no open and honesty, so therefore it's creating karma in your relationship when you should basically strive for dharma in your relationships, because it gives every relationship purpose. The reality is that to get to dharma, you have to go through karma, but you don't want to just stay in karmic relationships for your whole life. You want to get that clarity, you want to get that purpose, and you want to transfer it into your relationships. If it is not transferring into your relationships, then that is a problem. You need to do something about it. See, this clarity that we've been discussing with this Jupiter trine Neptune is not so we could just simply feel good, so we can just simply pat ourselves on the back and say, look, mom, I'm clear. Look, guys, I'm clear. With this clarity comes a responsibility, because Jupiter is going into Sagittarius in its home state, where it's most comfortable, where it's exalted. And we all have our personal Jupiters. We all have our means to shine. So as Jupiter is in Scorpio, as it's going through its transformation, are you actually transforming with your spiritual lineage and your spiritual gifts? Is that opening up to you? And so if the answer is yeah, my spiritual attainment, my spiritual alignment is opening up. I'm seeing visions. I'm getting spiritual enlightenment. But I can't talk about it with my boyfriend though. But I can't talk about it with my wife though. That's a problem. That's an issue. Because you're supposed, like, I'm telling you, when you're able to spiritually be in tune with another person, then you're able to speak. That truth is there. It's hard to explain, but I can give you an example. Yesterday I'm having a conversation about the Chattahoochee River with a friend, and then my wife is having her whole other, she's thinking about something totally different, but it all reverts back to the Chattahoochee River. And the Chattahoochee River reverts back to the Kolaoke Mounds, a place that I need to go visit, and an ancestor that's been reaching out to me. But I had one conversation, but my wife put it all together with her own research that she didn't even necessarily know that I was even thinking about, talking about. And I cannot even begin to count the times that I don't necessarily know if I'm dreaming her dream or if she's dreaming my dream. It's a deep connection. And I only speak of dharmic relationships because I've been in so many different karmic relationships that this is different. This is much different. Because karma and conditional love is synonymous, where you're with that person because they're fitting some type of ideal. They're making you feel a certain type of way. But say, for instance, that person does something to piss you off. Oh, relationship over. Oh, I gotta get a divorce. Oh, I gotta move on. Oh, this person ain't for me. But when you in dharma and you have a purpose, it's hard for that stuff to happen because you have a purpose. Generally, when two people get together, they just be chilling. So I'm reverting back to the sun being in the second degree, which is ruled by Saturn, which is ruled by Capricorn, meaning that this energy is all about what are you taking seriously? Where is your ascension at? And if it's opposed to Neptune, then that means that your ascension is deeply embedded in your clarity and not so much deeply embedded in your works. Your works are something that you are. And so if you're clear, you'll have full objective view of what tool you need to pull out your toolbox. It's kind of like you're a carpenter and you had a little toolbox, and then today, how to make over your home. What is that show that used to come on ABC about the makeover show? Dang, I can't think. Well, anyway, they come through, they just do over your whole house, and now instead of having that toolbox, they give you the big, dresser drawer toolbox with the different shelves with all your different tools. And so now you just have easier access to your tools, so you be more productive, more efficient when it comes to your spirituality. Clarity is so important, especially in your relationships, especially how you show up. And so as we begin to fully get into these relationships and these relationship aspects, let's really look at what's happening astrologically. Venus is going through some stuff. Venus is about to go into Scorpio. She's about to be a part of a grand cross with the North Node, Uranus, and Mars. So it's kind of 3 versus 1. And so I'm going to just make it simple and plain for you. If you love change, then this energy, this time is probably some of the most remarkable, amazing experiences that you ever lived in your life. If you are afraid of change, or if change fears you, if you're focused on something to kind of like hold it and to have it and you don't want to lose it, well, I'm sorry to say that that's fear, and that's an intention that you're setting that has to manifest opposite to what you want. So the more that you're able to let things go, the easier that this energy is. And this energy is based upon relationships, based upon career, based upon friends, but ultimately your shadow, and your shadow does not exist within you. See, if you by yourself and you like, well, he not talking about me because I'm single. Or you could be in a situation where you happy. But are you attached to that happiness, or are you kind of looking forward and moving forward in your purpose? Because we're not striving for happiness, we're striving for joy. And to have joy is to, understand that everything comes from within you. So anything external to you, it's not 100% sure gonna be guaranteed to make you happy. And I'm not trying to be mean or spiteful or crass or rude. I'm saying that I've been in situations where I've deeply loved my partner and she passed away. See, that's a whole different vibe. To have a family, to be working towards building your family, and then that major cog transitions to the other realm. From that point, I have to begin to look at relationships differently. I can't just simply be dating women and spending time with people and acting like their energy is to be wasted. I only can deal with you through purpose. I can only deal with you through legacy, because I've realized that karma is nothing to play with. Arguing with somebody, having differences with somebody day after day is nothing to play with. Who I am is who I am. If you have a problem with that at your core, then you have to leave me alone. If I have a problem with you at my core, there are some irreconcilable differences, then I have to be responsible. Or else you deal with the dark side of Uranus. Pause. Where shit get crazy. So fully understanding this energy, fully understanding how to show up authentic in your relationships, this is what you need to do. Say, for instance, you in a relationship with a person, you a man and a woman, and you just in a relationship, and you looking at your partner, and you like, man, one day this person is going to get it. One day this person is going to be who I want them to be. You need to take that idea. You need to take that idea. Put it in a trash bag. Tape it up, wrap it up. Get your best friend. Blindfold yourself. Have your best friend drive you into the desert, drive you into the woods. Bury that thing. Bury that ideal. Because that ideal is ruining your relationship. That person in front of you is already perfect. And if you're not clear enough to deal with that person as that perfect being, then that's a reflection of you. Your problem with your partner is your shit. And then say, for instance, this person is bad. This person is evil. You're a grown ass person and you need to leave. You're not a child. You're not a baby. And you should never be dependent on a stranger that can put you in vulnerable situations. No, baby, I got it. I'll take care of it. I don't want you to think anything other than we're two grown adults making conscious decisions. See, we all up into this program and we think our relationships gotta be submissive and dominant, but we don't got no purpose in this shit. You want to call somebody daddy or have somebody respect you. Why though? Where are you taking her? Where are you leading her for her to respect you? So we have to really be so clear in our relationships, so serious in our relationships, so real in our relationships, because our spirituality is that important to us. Not this material world, what people say, oh, you got a good husband, oh, you got a great wife, oh, you got a beautiful family. Oh, we get high off that shit. That shit like heroin. But inside, like I said, if you was single and you was a little thought, or when you was single, you was a man whore, don't think think because you got into a relationship that man-whoreness or that thottiness been washed away because this person that came in your life is just so amazing. That shit's still in you, and if you don't talk about it with this so amazing person, then what's really happening? What's really going on? Because you hiding shit, you repressing shit, you suppressing shit, and that's not going to amount to shit but karma. And the title of this video is Dharma, and so I really want to have positive relationships with my partner more than anything. And I realized the biggest block to me having a positive relationship with my wife is me. And my ability to be honest with her and tell her how I feel, especially when I'm feeling bad, especially when I'm horny, maybe horny for another person. That's difficult in your relationships, but it must be said. It must be talked about, because if it's not talked about, then it's acted upon. See, what happens when I talk about this shit that's going on inside of me, I swear to y'all, that feeling goes away. Where the whole thing is set up, the plan is set, it's perfect, it's gonna work out, but then I talk to my wife about it, and then it don't even make sense. See, as men, we don't tell our wives what's going on with us. We keep that shit in, and then it just gets too big, and then we just simply have to act on it. But if we could learn to be open and honest with our wives about our true, then she's either going to have to run away from you, or she's going to have to deal with you as a whole being. See, a lot of y'all get on here and y'all like to comment shit funny style. Like, y'all will say something on the comment like, I really didn't like what you said here, or critique in a way where that's all you wanted to do was critique, and everything that I said that was of importance, of a value, that meant shit to you. It doesn't mean nothing. So if I cuss, it's like you cuss. So everything that I'm speaking about, everything that I mean, it goes over your head. And I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying, leave me alone. Because I'm a whole person. I'm good and I'm bad. I'm that. I make mistakes. Sometimes my sound is off. But my heart is so pure and so about this consciousness, about this spirituality, that if you judging me, you're not really judging me, you judging yourself. Because the core of my being is me loving my wife and taking care of my children. I don't kill people, I don't rob people, I don't steal from people. All I simply focus on is how can I be a better dad to my sons? How can I be a better husband to my wife? How can I be a better soul? How can I get further aligned to my spirit and purpose doing all of this simultaneously? Because the reality is that there's going to be distractions and disruptions to that energy. When me and my wife got our reading from our Babylon, the first thing that he said, and the thing that I remember the most, is that people will try to tear you guys apart. And that shit is real. That shit is real. And it's not that people was trying to tear us apart. I was trying to tear us apart with my lust and my ability not to be real with my wife. That was going to tear us apart. So if you in a relationship right now, you owe it to your partner to be so honest and so real and so transparent with them. And if that open, honest, and transparency causes that person to feel different about you, then good. Because what we're talking about here is your honesty, your truth. We're not talking about your honesty and truth in the sense of making people feel comfortable, in the sense of making people feel happy, in the sense of making sure that a nigga got lunch in the morning. My mom mom didn't even pack me lunch in the morning, so I don't expect nobody to pack lunch for me in the morning. I'm just saying we have all of these responsibilities to these grown ass people, and we have no responsibility to our spirituality, and our spirituality has been with us before we were born, and your spirituality is going to be with you after you die, but you take no note to it. You take no notice of it. You only care about what's going on in the terrestrial world. But remove yourself from the terrestrial world. What is the terrestrial world gonna do? The same thing it's been doing. I talk about prison a lot, but prison really showed me that, oh shit, I could completely remove myself from this society, and this society won't even blink. It won't even bat an eye. Death has shown me, oh, you could lose the person that you love the most, and if that shit ain't caught on camera, if that shit ain't a hashtag, don't nobody give a fuck. So, I take my life, my spiritual journey, my spiritual path very seriously, because I realized that people was not going to take me seriously. The world was not going to take me seriously. The world was not going to accept me. The world was not even going to care about me. So I had to take responsibility for my big grown ass and stop looking for shit and just really in tune with myself. And this is where I am today. Through all that pain, through all that trauma, through all of that grief, through all of those questions. I seen a question on the chat that said, where does privacy fit in? With me, I don't give a damn about privacy. You could put cameras all over my house at this point, because I don't really give a shit. I ain't doing shit. I'm literally studying. You might catch a porno every now and again between me and my wife, but other than that, I don't really give a damn. And the reality is that I can't stop, I don't even necessarily be on a TV. I don't even have a cell phone. So I'm not even into that world that they're creating that's really spying on you for real. But I'm on this thing every day. And I got bigger dreams and higher aspirations. I'm looking to put myself in the public life. So I have to be in full transparency. If you see the Hoodmystic in the back alley with somebody, you know what I'm saying, doing something crazy, everything that I'm talking about is now compromised. Because you can get me on camera like, look at this righteous brother in the back alley with Tatalicious. You understand? So I gotta be of high moral and transparency and privacy. I don't really give a shit. Because this is me personally. I don't care about what other people doing. So if you care about what I'm doing that much, then I don't give a shit. I'm not about to fight you or be mad that you nosy. That's your problem. That's your prerogative, and maybe you will learn something. So, dang, we beat that astrology to death. Hope that message resonated. I hope that made sense. But let's just go through this tarot so we can fully understand this energy. What we do with this section of the video is where we just look for more elaboration on the energy, see if there's anything that we're missing. Of course, we can't discuss every astrological aspect, so that's why we try to break it up 5 days a week and just discuss the different planets, and then we just rely on the tarot to give us further inspiration and further elaboration. So we have the Hangman, the Eight of Discs, and the Devil. You only sacrifice or in a situation with a person because you want to. Can't nobody do you wrong. They could do you wrong once. What is that? Fool me once, fool me twice. Can't fool you 3 times. So at a certain point, you got to change your ways. And this is what the Hangman represents. At a certain point, you have to realize that I'm just focused on the earth. Let me tell you about life real quick. Your 2 eyes, right now, the Hoodmystic, right now, this is how I appear to your eyes. And then once your eyes transfer it through your brain, then, only then, will you begin to see me like this. So if you ever paid attention to anything in the world, you're not looking at the world correctly. You're looking at the world like this. So do I have to explain to you how silly it would be to say somebody looks cute or somebody is beautiful when you're not even really looking at them correctly? You're not even seeing their feet. They feet is they face. Like, people walking, like, you have to understand that this world is upside down, and your brain says, no, the world can't be upside down. There is no way that this world is upside down. Let me make it right. And then you appear like this. And so this is the hangman. Once you realize that the world is upside down and what you've been headed towards and what you've been trying to accomplish within the world, it's very it's ridiculous to think of living in an upside down world. You have to begin to change your perspective, change the way that you look at things, so now you can look at it upright and correctly. So many times we've been looking at the world externally and been dead ass wrong. So you have to begin to work towards this new perspective and changing your ways and really having a deep understanding of nature. You don't get to nothing real. You don't get to no real point. Anybody that has any real success that you might even look at, they didn't get there overnight. It was a process. It was a overall working towards to get into some place to where you're satisfied. And once you get to that place, or even how to get to that place, you got to incorporate this devil energy. A lot of spiritual people want to act like this tarot card don't even exist in the deck. Y'all be throwing this card out the deck. Every time I look on y'all readings, I don't never see the devil. Y'all just slide it to the left so people don't see it. This is shadow. This is projection. The devil is the scapegoat. Let's be so clear about this devil. The devil is an entity that human beings cast aside everything that they don't like about their damn self. Hard pill to swallow. If you can even imagine an evil person, you're projecting that evil within you and putting it on the devil. What do I mean? Whatever evil you could fathom up or you could think of, it's only subjective to things you've read, things you've understood, or things you've experienced. And so to say that the devil does just the one thing that you imagine to be evil, what about the lead poisoning that's happened at Flint? What does that devil look like? What about the tribal wars that are happening in the Congo? What does that devil look like? What about, the islands of Asia where there's nothing but corruption and subjugation? What does that devil look like? Did your devil do that too? Or no, did he just subjugating evil? And I'm saying, if evil exists in the world, what will you do about it to combat it? As opposed to just pointing your finger at it and saying, ooh, you're bad, Hoodmystic, you curse. Ooh, you're bad, Hoodmystic, you said something that I didn't like. That was insensitive. You're bad. Am I bad? Or are you noticing the bad in me that resonates with the bad in you? It's all about resonation. What aligns with you? And if you have a problem, say for instance, it's a such thing as human trafficking. What are you doing about it in the fight and the aid? It's brothers that I know that's kicking down doors saving babies. I'm trying to take part of it next summer. I'm trying to go down to Ecuador with my brother and kick down some doors and save these children who are slaves. They work from sun up to sundown as sex workers. I want to do something about that. I don't want to just sit here and point the finger and talk about who evil or who the devil and who doing the wrong things. Because who's going to protect people? Who's going to fight against this force? So can we have a conversation? Can we talk before you come up with this grandiose judgment of people of who's bad and who's good? And ultimately, if you encounter a devil, what's your responsibility? To bring light into the situation. Y'all don't bring light to the situation, y'all bring more judgment. And that's not really gonna get us anywhere. So moving down to this lower tier, the Eight of Wands. When you fully understand that it is your thought patterns that is creating the negative vibrations in your life, then instantly things change. The times that you thinking that somebody done did you wrong, somebody done owed you shit, you gonna be waiting forever for some shit to happen for you. You waiting for somebody to come bail your ass out. You start changing your thought patterns. Man, maybe I don't even need this house. Man, maybe I don't even need this car. I just start taking the bus. Man, I tell you, I had a car, but it wasn't a good car, but I still drove it. Man, one day, I was like, I'm not even going to drive this car no more. I'm going to just take the bus. I felt better. Because you just want to be in situations where you don't got stress. And sometimes our thought patterns create more stress because we keep doing the thing that stresses us out every single day. Why wouldn't you begin to do something different? And once you begin to do something different, because we're talking about energy. So if something is stressing you and you're not talking about it, it serves you to talk about it because that's a different way of thinking. Repressing, suppressing, keeping shit in is a normal way of how you've been dealing with shit. The Eight of Wands instructs you to think differently. And speaking of the eight, I'm going to speak on this because I don't want to forget about it. When we speak of possibilities of life and what they could possibly be, the concept is infinity. And since infinity is so large and you can't really figure it out, then it's replaced with the symbol, a sideways 8. And what you understand about that infinity symbol is that it's constantly moving. If you ever did any work with an infinity symbol, that thing don't just stay the same. You just know that, like, if you ever did any meditations with infinity, then that thing begins to move. And that's your left brain and your right brain beginning to work together. Because before this, up top is the Hangman, where it is no infinity, it's just left brain thinking. Car, crib, job, career, vacation. Car, crib, job, career, vacation. Oh, I can't go on a vacation this year. I'm going to be sad. You bring it down to the Eight of Wands, then you incorporate that right brain creativity into that car, crib, job, career, vacation, and then it's something different as we begin to talk about the next card, which is the Six of Cups, which is finding your core feeling, your core being. Do we just want to find our core being because it's cool? Have a hashtag, I found myself, y'all. I found my core. Yay. Like, let's throw a party tonight. No. We're doing this shit for a reason. We're doing this shit to get to fortune. We're doing this to get the bag. And that bag can look however you want it to look. It's your fortune. It's your idea of fortune. I can't say. But fortune, fortune ultimately is doing something bigger than yourself. A Fortune 500 company. There is not one man who is a part of the Fortune 500 list. A Fortune 500 company is a conglomerate. It's multiple people. It's boards. It's councils. It's a whole collection of people with one goal. Enron, AT&T, Google. That's our goal. That's our focus. Now we have a fortune. It ain't Shireen, Lisa, Tamara. Like, that's ridiculous. Everybody got these grandiose dreams, but who you incorporating in them? You ain't incorporating me, that's for sure. Because ain't nobody came to me like, hey, let's start a board. I want to invite you to my board. I want to discuss this business idea with you. But how in the hell is you going to manifest something by yourself? How you going to manifest a successful business by yourself? Did anybody tell you that was very difficult? Do you understand that you can begin to work with people and delegate and distribute and associate tasks and roles and responsibilities? Y'all can put y'all money together. All of this shit. You can have a company and y'all could take a percentage of y'all paychecks every month, deposit it into the company, or even take those deposits. Say for instance, it's 4 of y'all and y'all have contribute $100 a month. Y'all could separate those payments to incremental payments and deposit those into your bank account, your business bank account. Do that for a year. You and 4 friends. Do that for a year. At the same time, work on and develop your business plan. Then, after you've been doing that for a year or 2 years, you have capital and you have a bank account that has been shown activity for the past year to 2 years. So, once you have your business plan, because you and your friends, y'all meet once a month to discuss your business plan, a year from now, 2 years from now, you can then take that energy that y'all have been created and then get credit and then start the business, and it be a fruitful enterprise because it's been years in the making. This is what fortune is. If you thinking fortune is a check in the mail so you can go splurge, then you got a lot you gonna have a lot of life learning lessons, because it ain't never gonna be like that. So with that being said, that was today. This is today, the daily energy reading, September 7th, 2018. This is the day of love. You understand? This is the day of realizations. And are you able to be open, honest, and communicative with your partner? You know, are you able? Are you able to be responsible for your grown ass once you say, I don't want to be in this relationship? Are you able to then think about something else to do for yourself? So it's just very important to deal with this energy, to deal with this realization, and just move forward with being true to self. I don't know what else to say. And I know it's difficult because y'all have these relationships. A lot of people are even married, you know, but you're not showing up right in it. So if we're going to talk about this spiritual stuff, we got to talk about everything that's supporting it. So hope that message resonated with you. But I have to get to school, so y'all have a wonderful day. Hit me up if I'm sorry, y'all. Hoodmystic@gmail.com if you're interested in readings. Patreon.com/TheHoodMystic. What is that? PayPal.me/TheHoodMystic. Hoodmystic38 for donations. Everybody have a wonderful day. Peace and love to the family.